All right, I'm here with the legendary man, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, ladies and gentlemen. Hacksaw, we're here at Comic-Con today in Hamilton. How are you doing?
Well, excuse me, brother, but you know the first thing Hacksaw Jim Duggan has to do is give a big ho! Kind of fires me up, you know, gets the blood flowing, gets old Hacksaw woken up nowadays.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, Jim, you've had such a long career in professional wrestling. Did you ever think that it would go like this long? Like, you've done amazing when you think back in MidSouth and WWF.
Hogan and Flair still call me kid, so I'm not the oldest one in the group. But no, it's been a great business for me. You know, I've been doing it for 35 years now. I've been with my wife 30 years. I never had to go to rehab for booze or drugs. Never had a felony arrest. I'm active in the community. I do a lot of charity work. It's been a great business for me.
Yeah.
So many folks hear the negative stories about guys like Scott Hall and other people. There's a lot of guys that are successful in our business. Roddy Piper, Tito Santana. But people like the car wrecks. They don't like to hear about the success stories.
Oh, no. I think you've done amazing. Now, do you do a lot of these conventions?
Yeah, I actually do quite a bit. I just started doing these about two years ago. Started doing the Comic-Cons. It's they're really almost like pop culture conventions now. I mean, Lou Ferrigno's here, of course, and you see a lot of movie stars. Everybody's dressed in costumes. They're a lot of fun. And of course, it's like old home week. You know, DiBiase's here, Howard Finkel, Luke the Bushwhacker. So it's like a reunion for us too.
And I wanted to get the actual story on how you got into professional wrestling, because I don't think I've ever heard how Hacksaw got in there.
I used to be a football player. Actually, I played my last ever football game right here in Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was with the Toronto Argonauts. We played the Ticats back in 1978. But I played my college ball for Southern Methodist University in Dallas, Texas. And on a fluke, I met Fritz Von Erich of Texas World Class Championship Wrestling, and he opened the door for me for wrestling. So Fritz, I appreciate it very much. God bless you. And of course, I really struggled. I started off as Big Jim Duggan with short hair and clean shaven. Then I wore a mask for a while. Then I was Wildman Duggan.
That's far. I can't picture a clean-shaven Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Well, there's some pictures out there. And actually, when WCW had me turn into join Team Canada, I was able to cut my hair and shave my beard, which I hadn't done pretty much my whole adult life. Okay, maybe I was. God, he was somebody.
So I also wanted to get some of your thoughts on Bill Watts, too, because Bill Watts is really recognized as one of the great promoters, a guy that really knew how to book clever storylines and get guys over.
And he was a taskmaster, too. If he wasn't happy with what you did, you'd go out and do it again. So not only did you learn how to work in the ring, but you'll also learn how to do interviews, which is a big part of our business. And Bill, you know, he was hard on a lot of people, but you think of all the superstars that came out of there. I mean, one after another, because that was a great training ground, a great proving ground. And of course, Vince McMahon went down and cherry-picked all the top guys, brought us up to WWF, and that took off. But yeah, Bill Watts he treated me fine, so he's a buddy of mine.
How did you feel when Vince got in touch with you and he was doing the expansion? And how did you feel about here's some guy that's going to take it national? I mean, the promoters always kind of had that thing where you don't step on each other's territory.
Right. You know? Well, you know what happened? Junkyard Dog left for WrestleMania 1. He went up for WWE. Jake the Snake, a good friend of mine, went up for WrestleMania 2. Jake and Dog are calling me like, you got to get up here, brother. So I came up for WrestleMania 3. Actually, I called Vince. He didn't call me, you know, and I think most guys call up there, but they like to say Vince called him. But, you know, that's the way it goes. But I enjoyed it. And, of course, DiBiase, poor Teddy's down there in Mid-South, and he calls up. He goes, I can't come up to New York. You know, you got Jake the Snake Roberts. You got Junkyard Dog. You got Hacksaw Duggan. I don't have a gimmick. He came up. He had the best gimmick of anybody, the $1 Million Man. So, yeah, it worked out great for Ted.
And the Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the 2x4 and stuff, were you doing that already? Or
I had the 2x4 and the American flag down in Mid-South, and I've been carrying that for quite a while. So actually I own Hacksaw Jim Duggan persona, where Vince McMahon creates your character like Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the big boss man. If you leave WWE, you can't have that character. So yeah, myself, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Junkyard Dog, we were all those characters before he went to WWE.
And I wanted to talk about, in pro wrestling, because we're seeing it right now with Rusev, it seems like anytime you do any kind of patriotic or anti-American angle, the fans bite huge.
Well, you know, I think everybody, like folks here in Canada, are so proud of their country, which they should be. The folks in the United States are proud of our country. And, of course, with what's going on in the Middle East and over in Ukraine, you know, there's a whole new sense of patriotism. And folks just, you know, for me, they come out and cheer USA. And I don't think anybody's carried the flag as well as Hacksaw Jim Duggan has carried. Sergeant Slaughter, no! Hulk Hogan, no! Lex Luger, no! Hacksaw Jim Duggan, if you want somebody to carry the American flag, it's me, tough guy. Give me a ho, brother. Ho! That's a pretty good ho!